5 Aussie terms that Americans totally destroy. Or, as we'd say in Australia, 5 Aussie terms that Americans like to balls up. Now, in this channel, we're all about language learning, and you've seen over recent times, I've analyzed a lot of people's language, whether it's speaking Chinese. Okay, speaking Thai. Let's listen.
อายุเท่าไหร่ครับและเด็กไทย
Okay, อายุเท่าไหร่ครับ? That R, it's correct in Thai. There's no R in natural speech. Okay, if your Thai teacher tells you that, they're wrong. And even speaking English.
Season. Happy. We made it to 20 seasons. Working with them.
If you haven't checked out the analysis on the Kardashians' English and the evolution that's going on in the English language, don't forget to check that out. Now, a few years ago, I actually put a clip out. It was an American's guide to speaking Australian English, or STRINE. Actually pull off an Australian accent, because honestly speaking, the ones that you see coming out of Hollywood are pretty shocking.
Now, don't jump to conclusions, Jimbo. Maybe he just hates door-to-door salesmen?
Now, it looks like that clip needs to get out to more people, because recently I've been hearing so many Americans say some terms that are just normal Australian words, or words that we would hear in Australia, but they're totally destroying the words. And I was trying to think, what is it that's totally destroying these words when the Americans say it? Is it the meaning that they're getting wrong? Or is it the pronunciation? Or is it a bit of both? When we talk in Mindkraft about learning languages and being able to start to sound more native-like in your speech, we talk about prosody and articulation. It's all about articulation. One of the best ways to develop your ability in a foreign language is to start closer to home. Look at your mother tongue and look at how other people speak your own language, other native speakers in other places, and see if you can start to imitate their accent, the way that they articulate things. Because the skills that you're going to be using in shifting your mouth around, your tongue, your throat, and doing all these different things is going to help you in other languages. So this clip isn't just a guide for Americans, or anyone for that matter, how to get these Aussie terms right, but I really want you to see if you can actually start to work on your articulation, your delivery of language, because the skills that you're using to speak Australian English, if Australian English isn't your native accent in English, are the same skills that you're going to be using when you're learning another language like Thai or Russian or Chinese or Vietnamese. It's all about reshaping your mouth. Now, the first term, Aussie. You can see it in the title of this clip, Aussie. There is no way to say the word Aussie in an American accent. It just can't be done. So what Americans will tend to say is Aussie. There are two things that are happening here. First of all, let's look at the S's. Double S in a term like this in Australian English is pronounced as a Z, or as Americans call it, Z. So it's not Aussie, it's Aussie. You've got to voice it. So practice turning your voice on. You've got to get this activated here. So Aussie. Now, the other thing that's happening there, and this is where you're really going to have to work it, is a vowel shift. If you see this OS or AUS, the American point of articulation is closer to an R. So you say Australia, or an ostrich. Now, in Australian English, we need to move that back. So look at this. What's happened is American English places it about here. In Australian English, it's about here. So say this with me. Aussie. If you say Aussie, that means something totally different. It's probably something you do in a Mardi Gras in Australia. Aussie. Not Aussie, it's Aussie. You're not feeling for a bit of Aussie, you're feeling like an Aussie. So got it? Points of articulation, R to R, and then voiced S turning into a Z. So not Aussie, Aussie. Term number 2, it's one of our capital cities in Australia. And by the way, you can't call Australia Aussie. Aussie is an adjective, so that's an Aussie person, that's an Aussie joke. You can't say, I'm going to Aussie. So I'll just clear that out. But this next term, you can go there. This is the capital city of the state of Victoria, right down in the south of Australia, before you get to that other part called Tasmania. It's Melbourne. Melbourne. Say it with me. Melbourne. Now, it's not Melbourne. There are two things that are going wrong there in American English. Born. Maybe you're thinking like the Bourne Identity because it's spelled B-O-U-R-N-E. It's not pronounced like that. One, in Australian English, we don't rotalize our R. So we don't say in words where R is sandwiched between things or coming at the end. So that's Melbourne, but then we don't say born. It's just brought into this short schwa. So Melbourne, Melbourne. And we stress on the Mel bit. So Melbourne, Melbourne, not Melbourne. If you go to Australia and you say Melbourne, you'll probably be kicked out of the country. So the next term is actually another city, and we always hear Americans pronounce this incorrectly. That is the city of Brisbane. Brisbane. Now, Brisbane is the capital of the state of Queensland, the sunny state in Australia. But listen how you say it. Brisbane. 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 The B-A-N-E is, again, just reduced into this schwa, turns into bun. It's not Bane. Bane, like who is that superhero villain? It's not Bane. It's bun. Brisbane. Brisbane. And again, you have a vocalized S. So it's not Brisbane, it's Brisbane. 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 Now the next term, it's a term that you're probably not pronouncing wrong, but you're probably getting the meaning wrong. So in America, you have this term, Fanny. In America, you've got terms like fanny pack or the saying, take a load off your fanny. When we hear that in Australia, it means something entirely different. Your fanny is a lady's front bottom, not her back bottom. So just remember that. Every time you say fanny in Australia, we are thinking the C word. That's right. What's the C word? You need to go back and check out my clip on The American's Guide to Speaking Australian English. Make sure that you've got either headphones on or the volume turned down, by the way, when you listen to that clip. If you're brave enough, do not use the word fanny in Australia unless you're meaning it to mean a woman's front bottom. And the final term that Americans balls up when they're speaking Australian English is the term that many Australians greet each other with. It's the national greeting, I guess you could call it. That is G'day. G'day. It's not good day, it's not g'day or g'day. Many Americans tend to think that we say the word D-A-Y as die. It's not die. There's actually a diphthong shift, which I explained in my other video. It's not die, it's da-e, a-e, a-e. It's not oi. It's g'day. G'day. And this g with an apostrophe. And so this G from the back just jumps straight to the D. G'day. G'day. It's not g'day, mate, or good day, mate. It's g'day. G'day. Now, if you want to get it really right, you need to get that A in the day right too. So it's not g'day, gay. That's A, like an American diphthong, A-E. In Australia, we say A-E, g'day. It goes from the back to a schwa, up to an E. So we have back, E. G'day, g'day, g'day. And in Australian English, if you go back and look at that clip again, you'll see that the more ochre an accent, or the more broad an accent, the more they will stretch out that beginning portion of a diphthong or triphthong. So if you're speaking sort of bogan Australian, it'd be g'day, not oi, but g'day. But in normal speech, g'day, 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 and g'day, mate. Mate is a term that you just use for anybody, I guess. It's just a general term that I guess Americans might equate with dude or something like that, except I've never used the word dude. I don't really use the word mate a lot, but you hear it, and you even hear some very well-spoken people use the word mate. So g'day, mate, or just g'day. But it's not good day or g'day. So they're the 5 terms. There's one other term that I hear Americans get wrong all the time, and maybe this is thanks to Paul Hogan way back with his Crocodile Dundee. There is no such thing as a shrimp in Australia. Well, actually there is. A shrimp is a short person. You're such a shrimp. But a shrimp is not a prawn. In Australia, a prawn is a prawn is a prawn.
The beaches are crisp and clean, beer's cold, and there's plenty of shrimps on the barbie.
You don't throw a shrimp on the barbie, you chuck a prawn on the barbie. Prawns, they're not shrimp. Prawn. Do not ever use the word shrimp in Australia unless you're referring to a short person. If you really want to support learning and inspiring people to learn and using the brain to the full potential, click like, subscribe, scan the QR code up top and come in and join in the discussion on our Discord server. The Mindkraft Discord server, we talk about using the brain, language, every language you can imagine, and there's an amazing supportive community there. Don't forget to go to the J-Academy shop, shop.jacademy.com for some awesome language merch. And of course, if you really do want to learn a language, to speak a language more than just taxi language when you go to a country, you're going to want to take the Mindkraft program. And if it's Thai, cracking Thai fundamentals. I'm Stuart J. Raj, and I'll see you on the other side.